Hello everyone and welcome to my BNB official 24 YouTube channel. Please subscribe my channel and thumbs up. Ridge and Taylor versus Bill, a hospital battle over Liam. According to bold and beautiful spoilers, Ridge and Taylor violently prohibit Bill Spencer from seeing his seriously injured son Liam in the hospital. Find out why they blame Bill for the shooting that injured 3 people. Bold and beautiful spoilers. Bill Spencer is banned from dying son's bedside in explosive hospital showdown. Ridge and Taylor's shocking decision tears 2 families apart. The hospital corridors exploded in mayhem yesterday as Bill Spencer suffered the ultimate retribution for his irresponsible decisions. And let me tell you, soap aficionados, this confrontation left me completely speechless. Ridge Forrester and Taylor Hayes had other ideas when Bill believed he'd rushed to his son Liam's bedside following the horrific incident. These 2 were doing more than simply standing guard at the hospital room door. Oh no, they physically prevented Bill from entering, and the accusations flew. Pure soap gold. It's your fault. That's supposedly what Ridge said at Bill in the corridor, and really? He is not wrong. The decision that started it all. Let's go back to what started this whole catastrophe. Bill's clever idea to release Luna Nozawa from jail in December has come back to haunt him in the worst way possible. He felt he was showing sympathy, giving a young woman another chance. I believe in redemption. How did that work out, Bill? Luna moved right from home arrest to holding Steffy at gunpoint. And when Liam attempted to play hero, as he always did, he ended himself with a bullet in his chest. He's now struggling for his life, as an inoperable brain tumor is wreaking havoc on his body. Talk about putting insult to injury. A father's worst nightmare. Consider this. Bill Spencer, the powerful dollar bill himself, reduced to begging in a hospital corridor. He begged to see his badly injured son. But Ridge and Taylor were not having it. Not one bit. They've appointed themselves judge, jury, and executioner in this family feud. And what was their verdict? Bill does not deserve to be anywhere near Liam's hospital room. Could you imagine? Your son is possibly dying, and you are physically prevented from saying goodbye? Even for Bill, who has questionable morals, this is a terrible act. The Forrester wall of fury. Ridge and Taylor have every reason to be furious. Their daughter Steffy was frightened, held at gunpoint by a woman who should still be in prison. If Bill hadn't pulled his strings, if he hadn't used his power to get Luna that lucrative house arrest contract, none of this would have occurred. 3 people were shot. Luna died. Sheila has 1 less toe. And Liam clings to life. All because Bill wants to save a killer. But here's where things get complicated. And since this is soap, of course they do. Liam is still Kelly's father. He is still tied to the Forresters through that wonderful little daughter. Ridge and Taylor aren't just punishing Bill when they prohibit him from the hospital room. They could be robbing Liam of his final moments with his father. Is their desire for vengeance worth the price? What happens next? This hospital showdown is far from done. We are all aware that Bill Spencer does not accept no as a response. Will he attempt to sneak past Ridge and Taylor? Will he get hospital security involved? Or will someone unexpectedly intervene to mediate? Where is Katie in all this? You know she will not allow Ridge and Taylor to keep her son's father away indefinitely. So what about Brooke? She's bound to have feelings about Ridge's actions, especially if they involve denying a dying man his father's presence. The Spencer-Forrester dispute has reached nuclear proportions, and honestly, I don't see how they can recover from this. Ridge and Taylor will be held accountable for Liam's death if Bill does not have the opportunity to say goodbye. However, if Liam lives, can he forgive his father for his role in the tragedy? Or will he go with the Forresters who saved him when Bill's terrible judgment almost killed him? One thing is certain. Bill's decision to release Luna cost him everything. His son's life is in the balance, and he can't even clasp his hand. That's a unique form of punishment, especially for someone as cruel as Dollar Bill. Will Ridge and Taylor's hearts soften? Will someone persuade them that denying a father access to his dying son's bedside is unreasonable? Or will their need for vengeance outweigh basic human compassion? Lyingly claims Luna died in recovery. Deacon's 8-toe news for Sheila. The bold and the beautiful recap for Thursday, July 10th shows that Lee Finnegan falsely claimed Luna Nozawa died in recovery, while Deacon Sharp had some bad news for Sheila Sharp. During Luna's surgery, Lee summoned some Nozawa power and helped her recover when she collapsed. Bridget Forrester discussed Luna's return to prison when she was stable and her procedure was completed. However, Lee insisted that they take things one step at a time. Bridget admitted that there could be post-op issues and offered to drive Luna to recovery, but Lee stated she would handle it from here. Lee also reminded Luna that she did not deserve this and expressed sympathy for her. When Sheila awoke from her own operation, she checked in on Luna and Liam Spencer. Grace Buckingham had no new information, but she did chat to Sheila about pain medication and encouraged her to focus on herself for now. Deacon arrived and was happy that Sheila had survived that horrible event. Unfortunately, Deacon admitted he couldn't nickname Sheila 9 Toes anymore because she was down to 8. Sheila realized Deacon was serious and that she had lost another toe, but he was just relieved she was going to be okay. Liam experienced some scary moments in the operating room, but Finn was able to remove the bullet and eventually save his life. Hope Logan and Carter Walton joined Steffy Forrester, who explained what had transpired and directed them to the observation window. Finn later revealed that Liam had successfully completed his surgery, which relieved Steffy, Hope, and Carter. Liam remained unconscious as Hope waited by his bedside, talking about how he couldn't leave them yet. Steffy ended up cuddling Hope while she cried, which created a nice moment between them. After Poppy Nozawa was taken to the hospital, Steffy complained about all Luna had done and the shooting drama. When Lee arrived, she described the procedure and left Poppy thinking Luna would be okay. Lee stated they did everything they could before insisting Luna died while recovering. Good. I'm glad Luna's dead, Poppy stated as Lee and everyone else in the waiting area were shocked. Of course, BNBS provide obvious evidence that Lee is faking Luna's death. Luna will still be on the show in September, therefore Lee is clearly lying. Luna has an identical twin. What will the new, Rana, character reveal be? The bold and the beautiful spoilers make us wonder. Does Luna Nozawa have an identical twin? A new figure named Rana could be part of a major surprise, so explore this intriguing tale option. At this time, BNBs are providing contradicting information because what's on screen does not correspond to what's coming up. Luna has just flatlined and has been verified as the patient who will die during surgery. Instead of complaining about prison and claiming that Luna would never fit into Finn's life, Steffy could have feigned and acted as if a father-daughter relationship were possible. It's never a good idea to further aggravate someone who is unstable and has a gun in their possession, but that's exactly what Steffy did. Finn could blame Steffy for his grief. Finn may eventually blame Steffy for exacerbating the issue and allowing it to get out of control. If Luna does not survive the procedure, Finn will have to deal with the loss of his own child. This could damage Finn and Steffy's relationship if he feels resentful of her for not accepting his biological daughter following the DNA finding. Nonetheless, Luna's awful destiny appears to be fabricated, as she is scheduled to debut in September. Dr. Lee Finnegan stood over her niece's seemingly lifeless body, her gloved hands trembling and her heart thudding louder than any machine in the room. We'll have to wait and see if she pretends her granddaughter has died and keeps that information hidden from Finn. Time of death, Bridget declared, but Lee did not respond. Her jaw was set, her eyes dark with purpose, as recollections of another day, another death, flashed through her head. Finn, her son. The world declared me dead, yet I was concealed, healed, and reborn in secret. And now Luna lay in front of her, bloodied, broken, and barely alive after being shot by Liam Spencer during a chaotic standoff. This wasn't the end. Not for Luna. Not for Nozawa's legacy. While the hospital mourned, Lee quietly muttered to Bridget, "She's gone." But the tone had a deeper meaning, a hidden caution to be quiet, to play along, for death was only real if she allowed it to be. As the world outside the or erupted, Hope wailing, Finn collapsing to the floor, Bill Spencer shrieking in astonishment, and Poppy dropping a surprising bombshell of apathy by snarling that she was glad Luna was dead. Lee was already one step ahead. Poppy's statements were not only chilly, they were brutal. Which mother says that about her own daughter? Unless there was more to the narrative, something dark and terrible beneath the surface. And then everything clicked for Lee. Poppy did not want Luna back. She did not seek redemption, healing, or justice. She wants silence. That was something Lee could not accept. Not again. She had failed once, allowing Sheila Carter to wander freely and shoot her own kid. Not this time. Not with Luna. So, as the machines were shutting down, Lee authorized a covert transfer, taking Luna out under the ruse of carrying a body to the morgue. But she wasn't headed to the morgue, not even close. Lee had already called in favors, hired out a secure recovery suite under an alias, and outfitted it with life-saving supplies. Luna would live, but the world would think she was dead. And the belief? Is that a lie? It would change everything. Back at the hospital, as Hope clutched Liam's comatose hand and whispered apologies, Finn broke down in Steffi's arms, screaming, "She was my daughter, my blood," and Ridge and Taylor vowed to keep Bill away from Liam's bedside, believing his shady legal dealings with Luna had enabled the entire disaster. One woman knew the truth, and the truth burned brighter than any surgical light. Luna Nozawa was alive, and whether she returned to Los Angeles in forgiveness or rage was beyond Lee's control, because, while the body recovered, the soul did not always follow. And what was simmering inside Luna now, betrayal, desertion, and the knowledge that her own mother wanted her gone, could either mold a strong woman or unleash a monster. The question was no longer whether Luna would return. That was how. This clandestine deed resulted in two possible outcomes. Luna awoke to a world she could never completely return to, but she would try. Her mission would be to seek redemption. In her heart, she'd feel that Lee's faith in her and this second opportunity were a sign, a magnificent gift. She'd go see Liam in private, distraught by what she'd done. She'd send letters to Steffy, apologizing and trying to reclaim her humanity. She'd beg Finn to forgive and lead her. She would meet with Hope, confess everything, and strive to rehabilitate herself in the eyes of the Forresters. Maybe, just maybe, in a society dominated by redemption arcs, Luna can rise above the ashes and become a better woman, even a heroine. The next generation's flawed phoenix. And Finn, torn between his feelings for Steffy and remorse over Luna, would become her rock, not sexually, but as the father she never met. But there was another route, darker, more twisted, and laced with vengeance and anger. Luna had been tricked, vilified, and betrayed by everyone she believed could protect her. Hope had lied to her. Steffy had shamed her. Poppy had rejected her. Liam had shot her. And Finn? What about the father she recently discovered? He let everything happen. In this version of the story, Luna would recover in silence, but every scar would serve as a warning, and every heartbeat a drumbeat of war. And when she returned, she would not seek redemption. She'd seek retaliation. She would no longer be the gentle, crying in turn at Forrester creations, but rather a woman molded in lies and flames. She would change her name, perhaps color her hair, assume a new identity, maybe even return to Los Angeles. As a secret fashion investor or unknown social media influencer, she sabotaged her way into the Forrester enterprise, one stitch at a time. And, like Sheila Carter before her, she'd grin in public while destroying in secret, pursuing those who let her die. Bill Spencer? She would provide proof linking him to unlawful transactions with her. Steffy? She'd destroy her brand, exploit old feuds, and incite scandal. Poppy? Oh, she'd save her mother for last. The ultimate betrayal, the ultimate retaliation. Because Luna would never forget that her mother urged her to leave. That type of wound does not heal. It calcifies, And, like Sheila, Luna might find solace in control, power, and darkness. A new villain, one with youth, beauty, intelligence, and a purpose. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, the fractures would worsen. Finn, racked by remorse, began to question everything, even why he had trusted Lee again. Why did he allow Steffy to push Luna away? Most importantly, why does he continue to feel as if something is wrong? Maybe he notices a woman in the crowd who looks like Luna. Perhaps he received an unsigned note. Perhaps he begins asking Lee questions she cannot answer. And Lee, who was once so serene and in control, begins to unravel under strain. Because secrets don't stay hidden long, especially in this community. What if Luna is still alive? Everything is at risk. Ridge would demand to know why Lee lied again. Taylor would regard this as evidence that Lee cannot be trusted. Steffy would spiral, blaming herself for exacerbating the situation. Finn may even abandon her, unable to cope with her role in Luna's death. Hope must confront the fact that her lies pushed Luna over the edge, and Liam, still in a coma, may awaken to find himself at the center of a firestorm he barely remembers. Shot, scarred, and blamed for a crime that may not have resulted in death after all. And then there's Sheila Carter, who is resting in her hospital room and calmly watching the news. Sheila is the type of person who can spot a phony death right away. And if Luna is still alive, Sheila might want to find her first, to mold her, to use her. Alternatively, they may destroy her. After all, Luna attempted to kill her too. And someplace far away, in a sealed, secret suite, Luna Nozawa glances out a window, her eyes no longer innocent, but purposeful. Whether she becomes a savior or a storm, that's a decision for tomorrow. Luna's fake death opens door to redemption, or villain legacy, is the biggest twist in bold and the beautiful since Sheila's toe. Hold on, soap aficionados, because this bold and the beautiful bombshell is about to set off the most twisted, emotionally intense, and jaw-dropping story the CBS soap has produced in years. The entire canvas is suffering from the aftermath of the hospital shooting, and at the core is Luna Nozawa, who may be dead or simply hidden in the shadows, like the next Sheila Carter in the making. Liam Spencer, who is still in a coma following a bullet wound to the brain, is unable to defend himself. Sheila Carter, who is missing a toe and is still recovering from her own injuries, is already asking too many questions. But Lee Finnegan, Luna's clever, mysterious, and fiercely loyal aunt, may be manipulating the strings behind the scenes in a plot that will upset the very foundations of Los Angeles. Rewind. Luna was gun-slain in a firefight at the Cliff home. She shot Sheila. Sheila went down. Liam lunged. Luna turned the rifle. One shot rang out, then another. Chaos. When the smoke cleared, Sheila was injured. Liam was bleeding profusely. And Luna, well, Luna was lying on the floor in a pool of her own blood, eyes fluttering close, murmuring something about her mother, Poppy, and forgiveness. EMTs rushed her to the hospital. Lee grabbed charge. Steffy and Finn yelled. Poppy arrived late, and her first words when Lee informed her that Luna did not make it were, "Good." She earned it. It wasn't grief. It was not denial. It was frigid, calculated, almost triumphant, and it laid the groundwork for one of the most lethal, psychological chess games this show has ever played. Because Lee, as any true B&B fan knows, has done this before. She fabricated Finn's death, lied to everyone. She hid her own son in a hidden location for weeks. He survived despite all odds. Lied to Steffy. Lied to the police. Lied to everyone but the mirror. She only snapped when Sheila compelled her to reveal the truth. So when Lee claims Luna is dead and gone, we have to wonder, is she really? Because the evidence is questionable at best. There is no public death certificate. There are no funeral preparations. Forrester made no press announcements. Just a quick, "We lost her," and a strangely zipped body bag carted out of the operating room, leaving only Lee and a quiet, gloved man orderly in the hallway. That is not protocol. That's a cover-up. The question is, why would Lee falsify Luna's death? Is it guilt for not being able to save her niece? Is it rage directed toward Poppy? Is it to protect Luna from the charges she would face for shooting Liam and Sheila? Is it anything darker? Could Lee feel, deep down, that Luna is unstable, just like Sheila, and that locking her up or faking her death is the only way to protect everyone? That is the million-dollar riddle. But wait, things get much more twisted. Luna's body never arrived at the morgue. Lee told Finn she had planned for a private cremation, but the crematorium has no record. The same gloved orderly who wheeled out Luna's body was seen the next day entering a back stairwell that goes to the hospital's basement, where unused equipment and experimental supplies are stored. Coincidence? Not on daytime TV, especially in a show where Sheila Carter once kidnapped a nurse and kept her in a cage. Speculation is already rampant among the cast and fans. Hope Logan has been visiting Liam's bedside every day, pleading with him to wake up and tell her what happened. Did Luna actually try to kill him? Or was everything a tragic accident? Did Sheila trick Luna into thinking she had to shoot to survive? Or did Liam accidentally shoot Luna as he attempted to stop her from killing Sheila? Then there is the issue of Sheila herself. Her path to atonement is difficult, but she's awake now and asking questions. She keeps chanting Luna's name. That girl. She wasn't evil, she informed Deacon. She was scared. And someone made her that way. Does Sheila finally recognize herself in someone else? And could that be the key to unlocking a new legacy? One in which Luna becomes the next Sheila, not born bad, but formed through betrayal, abandonment, and manipulation?